Welcome to Gemara Academy. In this class, we will learn Tosfos Dibur HaMaschil, Milei Askinan Dekama Ayil Mershus HaRabim Mershus HaYachid. Let's begin. Milei Askinan Dekama Ayil Mershus HaRabim Mershus HaYachid. At this point in the Gemara, we explained that when the Mishnah in Shavuos says Yitzias HaShabbos Shtayim Shein Arba, although the word Yitzias is used, it also counts Hachnasas. Because when the Tana says Yitzia, he also means to say Hachnasa. And the Gemara said, Mimai, from where do we know this? Meditnan, from this that it says in the Mishnah. It's a Mishnah later on in Perek Kla Gadol. It's the Mishnah that counts the Lamates of its Malachas. And the last Malacha to be counted is Haitzah. And it says, Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus. And the Gemara says over here, Milay Askinan, is this not dealing with the Kama'ayil, to the case when he brings it in, he does achnasa, Mershus HaRabim, Mershus HaYachid. It's also counting a case of achnasa. So we see that even when the Tana says Hamaitzi, he also counts achnasa. Even when it says Eitzah, it counts achnasa. Therefore, Yitzias could also count cases of achnasa. Now, Tosfos is going to address a question, which is, just like in our Gemara, we took issue with saying that Yitzias includes achnasa. How do we answer by saying that the Mishnah later on in Perek Kla Gadol that says Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus includes achnasa? Who said that includes achnasa? Just like here, Yitzias doesn't seem to allow for achnasa to be included in it. So too there say the same thing. It says Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus. Maybe it's only Haitzah. So Tosfos is going to point out that this question is addressed by the Gemara itself in Shavuos. Let's see. Over Perek Hamad Shavuos, in the first parak of Shavuos, Parach, the Gemara asks, Ve'ema, and say, the Kamapik is that he took it out. The case of Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus is a case of Haitzah. He was Mapik, he took out Mershus HaYachid Mershus HaRabim from a Mershus HaYachid to Mershus HaRabim. Meshani, the Gemara answers, Im Kain, if so, if Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus was only referring to Haitzah, listen, Hamaitzi Mershus HaRabim, it should have written it out more clearly. Instead of Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus, which is not exactly clear what are the Rishuyas involved, it should have said Hamaitzi L'Rishus HaRabim, one who carries out to Rishus HaRabim. It's understood that it's from Rishus HaYachid. My Mershus L'Rishus, what's it saying from one property to another? It's coming to tell us it's from any property to another, any one of the two properties that could lead to a chiyuv. Afilu Rishus HaRabim, Rishus HaYachid, even if the Haitzah, the removal was from a Rishus HaRabim and into a Rishus HaYachid, which is the act of achnasa, but he was taking it out of one Rishus, putting it to another. It's included in Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus. Now Tosfos continues and asks a question. V'im Taimer, and if one asks, Umayshna the Tani told the Haitzah, and what's different that it teaches in that Mishnah in Perek Kla Gadol, where it counts Lamates Avin Malachas, Lamates Avis Malachas, what's different that by Haitzah it counts the Tulda? V'loi Tani Shum Tulda, it doesn't mention any Tulda, the Chol Shar Avis of the other Avis. We just explained and proved that when the Mishnah in Perek Kla Gadol counts the Avos Malachas and counts Haitzah by saying Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus, it also refers to Achnasa. The question is, why is Achnasa the only Tulda included in that Mishnah? No other Tuldas are included. It only talks about Avos. Tosfos answers, V'tiritz Riva answered, the Bechol Shar Tuldas, by all the other Tuldas, Im Haya Reitz L'Shanesim, if the Tana would want to teach them, he'd have to be Meirich, he'd have to lengthen B'Lsheine in his words, he'd have to write more words in order to write more cases. Of achnasa, the kruya haitzah, but achnasa that could be called haitzah, like the Gemara later explained, that when you bring something in, you're also taking it out of the Rishus HaRabim and bringing it into the Rishus HaYachid. It could also be called haitzah. Of achnasa, the kruya haitzah, but achnasa, which is called haitzah, kaila imay b'kaitzer. He's able to include it in it by doing it in a short way, because it's the same number of words. It's either hamaitzi l'rishus HaRabim, one who takes out the Rishus HaRabim, 3 words, or Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus. And since you can include it in it and not write at length, it did so. So we resolved 2 things. Number 1, we resolved how do we know that when the Tana says Hamaitzi Mershus L'Rshus, does he include in it Achnasa? And the next thing we explained was, why does he include Achnasa if no other Tuldas are included in that Mishnah?